I feel like things that you regret when you're older, or may regret, depending on your beliefs around regret, which we'll get into, they weigh heavy on the heart
They do.
and they're very different. So you can look at it as a lesson, 100%, but I think the cause and effect are much greater. And as you get older, you almost feel like your time frame in life is getting shorter because you're getting older and
That's
you
true.
may die
Yeah.
eventually.
Mm.
And so regretful moments have a greater weight.
You're right. Yeah.
But that also depends on your mindset, I think. I speak to regret, to the topic of regret with some people. And some people are like, no, I don't regret anything. They were life lessons and all of that.
Yeah. I think I sit on that end.
Okay.
Yeah. They are life lessons. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know.
Give examples. Give examples, and maybe we can talk through it. Maybe
You don't regret anything?
I do.
What's the one thing you regret? If it's one thing that you regret, what is it?
There's See, that's the thing. It's like with hindsight, it was the wrong thing to do at the time. But only going through it, is that lesson ingrained into you. It becomes a part of you, right? But I do have things that I wish I could have done differently in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's heavy because had I have done it differently, took different choices,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether that's my action, or just the way I handled stress, the way I thought. If I had done anything slightly differently, maybe the outcome wouldn't be what I went through, right? Maybe I could have had a family, you know. Maybe I could have still had my house, you know. So that's the stuff I thought about, right? But do I regret what happened? You know, I would say this, because I'm not giving any context, it's a bit hard. But let's say raising a family, looking after a household, it takes two people. And I know for sure I could have done better. Yeah. Not to say, like, I'm saying the other party definitely could have done better too, but I'm saying for me, I could have done better. I can give you an example. During that relationship, I didn't do any reflections, like zero. So as things were happening, I didn't piece together what's causing it, why it's happening, whether that's myself, my ex-partner, or those around us. I didn't make sense of anything. I just kept pushing forward without looking back, right? And yeah, that's just one thing I could have done better. Yeah.
Do you think there's a difference between regretful things within versus regretful things without? And what I mean by that is I don't regret anything that I've done to myself, for myself, wrong or right decisions, if it's been self-inflicted, if it's been poor decisions that have had a negative effect on me. Whether that's poor relationship choices, poor career choices, poor choices that almost put my life in danger. I don't regret any of that. But I think regret steps in for me when I've affected someone else.
I see. Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. Because if you have impacted someone else's life to the point where may or may not have had long-term effects, on how they view the world, that's enough for me to regret
I see.
impacting someone's life.
Yeah.
I don't regret many things.
Mm.
There is one thing that comes to my mind which is so wild, and I haven't been able to let go of it. And this is going to come so left of field, you're actually not going to know what it is. And then you got that smile and you're like, oh, it must be relationships or it must be this, but it's not. It's not.
What is it?
One day I was at the gym, I was probably 20, and there was a legend at my gym, and I was young and I still had so much respect for him, and now I have so much more respect for that person. He had cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And still would train at the gym, and I'm like you look back at that and I'm like, what an absolute fucking legend, right?
Yeah.
Like nothing's stopping that person from going to the gym. You are living your life, and I had so much admiration for him back then, and even more now. One day, I was the closest person to him at the time, and he fell over. And I just froze. I could have helped him. I could have helped him get up. I could have picked him up. I was the closest person. The next person was probably about 10, 15 meters away.
Yeah.
It was pretty dead at the time at the gym. And I just froze in that moment. And I still regret it to this day that I wasn't the first. I could have helped him, and it might have been embarrassing for him to be on the ground for that long. And I'm talking about maybe an extra 10, 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Being on the ground for that long and not being able to be helped. And I still regret it. I still regret it to this day. And I haven't been able to let go of it. And I know some people are going to be like, that's understandable, that young age or whatever it is. Ever since then, though, I've made a conscious effort to never, ever freeze in a crisis moment again.
Yeah, that's good.
So I learned from it, but I still regret it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. You've experienced it. You thought about it. You thought in that moment, I should have done this.
Yeah.
And then you made the active choice that if it happens again, I'll act.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's good.
And since then, 2 people have passed away in my vicinity. And I was the first person to
respond.
Well, actually not the first person to respond, but the first person to not freak out. And then be able to try to save their lives.
Yeah.
And I managed to save one of their lives, and the other person sadly passed away.
Yeah.
But I still made a conscious effort since that day to never freeze again. And I hope it never happens again. But I'm going to make a conscious effort to be that first response of support and help over freezing in that moment.
Yeah.
But I regret that.
So it seems like a, negative experience. You learnt from it through regret, and then you've actioned it. Yeah, that's a good thing. So if anything, that's on the lesson side of things, right? Because, you can see things half full or half empty. It's up to your mind. Because anything you've done that you wish you didn't do, like I've done a lot of things that I wouldn't say regret. I would call them mistakes, right?
Okay.
But I learnt from a lot of it going forward.
But I'd still consider that regret, because regret to me is something that you look back on and aren't able to let go based on that mistake. There's mistakes and you learn from them and you grow as a person, which I have.
Which is exactly what you described, right? Yeah.
But it still sits with me.
I see.
It still sits with me.
Yeah.
And there are other things that sit with me, maybe 4, that I don't want to share on this platform. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's more than 5 things that I regret.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, if regret means mistakes, then I have a lot of mistakes. But I don't regret any of them, even though they caused me hardship. And the reason for this is at that time, I didn't know what I know now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And plus at that time, it's like, you're still learning in a way. And I think for me, this is my personal view. you would always be learning, you know, no matter what age.
Yeah.
So I did the best I could at that time. Maybe 5, 10 years ago, you know, I had different strengths and weaknesses.
Of course.
And I did the best with what I had then. Yeah. So if those problems or mistakes that I made came back today, I wouldn't, pretty confident to say I wouldn't make those mistakes again. Yeah. But do I regret those mistakes happening? I don't.
Do you agree with my mindset on regret of if it still sits with you, it's regret? If that mistake still sits with you, it's regret.
Yeah.
So is there anything that still sits with you?
I think I let everything go.
Wow.
I managed to.
Good for you.
Yeah.
No, really, like I don't
No,
mean
no.
that in a condescending way, like good for you.
It's hard. It was very hard.
Do you know what you're describing?
What?
The exact opposite of something called poor me syndrome.
What's that?
Poor me syndrome is essentially someone that negative things happen, they make mistakes.
Oh, they keep spiraling down. They say it's my
Yeah,
fault.
but it's also like, oh, the world is against me, things don't go my way, I'm not meant to have nice things, I'm not meant to be loved, and they just spiral and they don't come back from it and bounce back from it. They don't learn, they don't adapt, they're not able to see the bigger picture.
See the positive.
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
The lesson.
That's the thing. For me, that difference between exactly what you described to just, you know, switching it back to what I call normal is a very thin line. It was a very thin line.
Okay.
Once I discovered it, it's literally all in your mindset.
It's emotional intelligence.
That I don't know.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's emotional intelligence. And it's also resilience.
Okay. Yeah. Because I could have easily, exactly what you described, because if I, you know, shared on this platform everything that happened to me, one could easily fall down that path. Very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you described in the last video where you described your way of working through some of your hardships and being able to process things.
It's exactly what you just described, but you didn't write it down. You just remember it. And then you actioned it.
Views.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
We still have different
But
views.
it's the same process, just done differently. Yeah. Yeah. But you felt it, you know? Like you remember, you felt yourself in that moment in time, and then you promised yourself, if it happened again, you would action something.
Dude, I still feel it now.
Exactly.
You know that moment where I still visualize everything that happened,
Yeah.
and I feel it. Like I'm there, like I project myself there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you fucking idiot, help him.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm like a ghost and seeing it bird's eye view, and you're like, help him. Yeah. And it's just nothing.
Let me tell you, when I was writing those reflections,
Yeah.
exactly what you're describing, as I was writing my thoughts down, I was reliving it, right? So I felt everything, whatever I was thinking about. Exactly what you said. But, so you didn't write it down, you just remembered.
Yes.
Visualized. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person.
Yeah.
Maybe I do process the same things as you.
Yeah.
Or the same way, sorry.
Just done differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different medium, different format. Yeah. I did it on a book. You did it from
In the mess that's my
in your head.
brain.
No, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's that.
Alright, I got a question for you.
You always have questions.
And I'm so scared to ask you.
Oh, I love it. Why are you scared? Wait, I have a question. Why are you scared to ask me?
Because you're gonna be like coming back right my way. I feel like this question I feel like this question is gonna just come back my way. So
I'll answer it first.
okay. Alright, I appreciate that.
Or I'll try. If it's something I haven't thought of, I'm gonna struggle.
Do you regret loving that person?
Which one?
That person. Stay right there.
I still don't know which one. I
Oh.
got 6 X's. Which one? The one that...
The one that's caused the most damage in your life, dude. I mean, when I say do you love regretting that person, that's the one that's...
Oh, I see.
That's the one that's fucking just done you.
No.
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 Okay.
No.
Fuck.
Clear answer, no.
Why?
Lots of reasons why. We did have good memories together,
Okay.
right? We brought the worst out of each other. That's something that I will never forget, right? Because I did not... You know, by the end of it, I didn't even recognize who I was. Like, I was so down.
Wow, yes. Oh my god, yes.
I was so down.
Yes.
I was like, I was
Who
never
am
like
I?
this. Yeah, I was never like this.
Yes.
You know? Yeah.
And speaking facts. Yeah.
And then, yeah. It was, yeah, roller coaster. Good and bad times. But then, I definitely know I came out of it a lot stronger.
Okay.
And more aware of that these kind of things can happen. Because, yeah, I never had that kind of relationship before with anyone. So it's my first time experiencing something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
When you say that, sorry.
I was going to add,
Yeah, go.
because like when I started the relationship with this person,
Yeah.
like I'm not going to share who it is.
Of course.
Right? Can't do that. I was at probably my physical peak and my mental peak as well.
Okay.
Right? And then over time towards the end, it's like literally like what happened to me, right? And then as I was doing my philosophy readings, it's like there's this one saying from Confucius, like even the sharpest blade, if left in water, will become rust, right? So it just shows the environment can affect.
Environment is everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, that quote, when I read it, I just did. I'm like, crap. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
So, do you?
No, God, no. No.
You don't regret dating?
No, not
Yeah.
at all.
Mm.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not
so
at
we
all.
have the same answer.
Yeah.
So tell me your reason.
Like, very similar, you know. I mean, I still have so much love for that person. And I never will stop that. I think when you love someone, however much you love that person and those previous relationships, it'll always be a part of
Part
them
of you, yeah.
that lives within yourself
Yeah.
and vice versa. And I mean, you loved that person.
I still
You loved that person.
I'll say this. I care for all my exes,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
No matter whatever happened, I still care. It's just whether or not I show it,
Yeah.
whether or not I express it,
Yeah.
you know, it's up to me. But deep down, I care about them. It's just we didn't work out. Yeah.
And that's the best way to look at it. Because at the end of the day, you know what the worst thing is when you meet people, and I get some circumstances, because some circumstances are so brutal, but you meet some people and they just absolutely shit on their ex. And they talk about them in such a negative light. And that's such a red flag for me.
Yeah, just means that they haven't let go yet.
Yeah, and I mean, you love that person.
Yeah, at
They
some
were
stage,
a part
you
of your
loved them.
life,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
However, like, you're talking about someone that you might have been with for 5 years and you're just going to absolutely shit on them. That says more about you than them. They might have treated you like shit. But if you're going to sit there and talk shit, it's just not for me.
yeah.
I don't align myself with that type of person. So no, I don't regret anything, and I to this day wish them nothing but happiness and love, and I hope they find all of that
In their own way.
In their own way, of
Yeah.
course, and I agree. At the end of the day, you know what kills me is that people don't understand that you've got two complete strangers with different views on the world, and
Different upbringings.
different upbringings, and I
Different
don't mean
traumas that they might not even know they had.
100% different triggers, different traumas,
Yeah.
everything,
Mm.
and you're just trying to make something work.
Mm. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is exactly that. So you can't regret that. You can't regret loving someone. Loving someone's so beautiful.
Mm. Agreed.
You can't regret that.
Yeah.
No, I don't regret it. Not at all.
Yeah.
I don't regret it at all.
So we have the same answer.
I do.
That's good. Very
I was worried.
You were worried.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I've got friends that will fucking say the worst things about their ex, and warranted to some degree.
Yeah.
Very bad circumstances. But yeah, I just...
At the end of the day, exes or not, they're still people. You still treat
I love
people
that.
with respect.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
No matter what.